Hello, and welcome to the Killer Cuties podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy, and I've seen almost every horror movie out there.
And I'm KD, and I've seen almost none of them.
So join us each week as I attempt to make a horror fan out of Katie.
As a warning, we will be discussing spoilers and some uncomfortable topics that may be in the plots, so feel free to check out the film on doesthedogdie.com first to check for any triggers before listening.
Today we're going to be talking about the 2004 supernatural horror remake film, The Grudge. Let's get spooky.
All right. Well, as you can see, we have a very special guest with us today. Michelle is here. She is a streamer and D&D dungeon master extraordinaire. She is here celebrating with us the 25th episode of Killer Cuties podcast. We are very excited to have her. And we'd like to kick off with a little bit of an interview, if you don't mind, Michelle. Starting with, of course, what is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Um, I didn't expect this question because I don't think I have an answer to that because I used to say The Strangers. But then I just watched it way too many times and it's not as cool anymore, or I guess scary. But yeah, The Strangers is my favorite horror movie.
That's a solid answer. I love The Strangers. But I get what
I
you're
have no
saying.
idea what you're talking about.
You will.
You haven't seen it yet?
No,
No.
but it is on our
Oh my
list.
gosh.
I do love The
Nice.
Strangers, but I get what you're saying, where it is kind of like, once you know what happens, it's a little, once you've seen it
Yeah.
enough times, the scariness wears off.
Yeah.
Is there a movie that got you into horror that wasn't your favorite? Like one that just kind of made it click where you're like, yeah, I like horror movies.
No.
You still
There-
don't like horror movies, God.
No, I love horror movies. I hated them. I think. I don't know what movie it was that made me like horror movies, but I think the biggest one that stands out in my mind is The Witch. And then like after that, I just couldn't stop watching horror movies. So
Solid.
it's just a great movie. It's a great movie. So it's not like a movie that I hated, but I started watching horror movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hated scary
Mhm.
movies until I watched Scream, and then I was like, I get it. All right.
Oh.
I still hate horror movies. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Are there any horror movies that you absolutely hate?
No. I want to say like don't be surprised. Okay, so The Bye Bye Man is probably the worst one that I've ever seen in my life, but it's also kind of genius. Because it's
One of
like,
those so bad
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, because like you would hear about like, oh, it was the boogeyman, his name was the Bye Bye Man. Like you would tell everyone that. Or at least I would,
Yeah.
because I would be like, what a silly name for a boogeyman. And then I would die.
Okay, so do you have a favorite or a least favorite genre for horror? Like subgenre?
My least favorite subgenre?
Yeah.
Um,
Or a favorite?
Probably like the Sharknado movies.
Okay.
I don't know what genre that would be, but like the animals that are in tornadoes.
Okay. Animals in tornadoes. It's a specific one, but I'll take it.
They're silly. Also, water ones. I can't handle like drowning terrifies me, water terrifies me, you know. Thalassophobia, I think it's called. I don't think I have that, but it's like I get it, I guess.
Well, we'll talk about that more because the movie you chose literally has drowning.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite genre?
Definitely like campy slasher movies are my favorite. Mhm.
Solid.
Yeah.
I learned what slasher meant in our last
Really?
movie.
Really?
Yep. What's a horror movie that you haven't seen yet, but you're like stoked on it? You're so excited to see it.
I Oh, that new Boogeyman movie. I haven't seen that one yet. So,
I'm excited for that one too.
yeah. Also Renfield. I haven't seen that yet either.
Oh, yeah.
Renfield
Liked
was
it.
fun.
Yeah,
Cute.
looks like a good one.
Yeah. All right. I
Cool.
think that's kind of it, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
We're excited to have
co-host.
you. What
We're
do
gonna
we
talk about like
say?
I don't know. Okay, cool. Well, next I'm just going to go over the summary of the film that Michelle chose. She chose The Grudge, the 2004 version, starring our girl Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I'll go over the summary and then we'll just kind of talk about it as we usually do. We just got, Michelle here with us instead. I almost used her username. I won't do that. I'm going to try not to do that this whole time.
you can link me in the description though.
Oh, 100%. We're going to promote her on twitch.tv/slash sneakybombju. Okay, so The Grudge. This film is told in a very non-linear fashion. It bounces around from different stories and it sort of intertwines as it goes. So the purpose of clarity and not to cause confusion, I am going to explain the plot chronologically, not how it's shown in the movie, because if I did that, I'd be cutting in between and it would be really confusing. So basically, at the beginning of the film, a message is shown, and it tells us that when someone dies of extreme anger or rage or sorrow, a curse is born, and it attaches itself to anyone who encounters it at the place where the death happened. It passes from person to person, killing everyone in its path. So at the very start of the story, but not the movie, Kayako's psyche falls in love with a professor, Peter Kirk. She becomes obsessed with him, and when her husband finds out, he murders her, their son Toshio, and their pet cat. While hiding the bodies, the ghost of Kayako murders him. Peter, the professor, gets a letter from Kayako and goes to their house, only to find all of them dead. He leaves, and the next morning, he takes his own life. A few years later, the Williams family, including Matt, Jennifer, and Matt's mother, who suffers from dementia, Emma, move into the Psyche house. Matt and Jennifer are kind of quickly consumed by the curse, and Yoko, who's a caretaker for Emma, she arrives to find Emma all alone, the other two dead. Yoko encounters Kayako, who kills her, and when Yoko doesn't show up for work, her employer sends another caretaker, Karen, to look after Emma. Karen is our girl, Sarah Michelle Gellar. So, Karen goes to the house and finds Toshio sealed in a wardrobe and later witnesses Kayako kill Emma. Karen's found in a state of shock and she's taken to the hospital where she meets Detective Nakagawa. The detective tells Karen that he had 3 colleagues who were investigating the Psyche deaths, and they were all consumed by the curse, and really he just says there's no way to escape it. So later that night, the detective brings gas to the house to burn it down, but he's killed by the spirits. Karen learns that her boyfriend went to look for her at the house, so she rushes there to save him. Kayako ends up killing the boyfriend, and as she's closing in on Karen, Karen ignites the gas, setting the house on fire. In the hospital, Karen has survived. However, she learns that the house also survived, and while she visits her boyfriend's body, she realizes that Kayako is still haunting her. And that's how it ends.
Amazing.
Ooh.
Michelle, why did you pick this movie?
I think someone was talking about it on Bella's stream the other day. And so I thought about it and I was like, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And it was really scary when I watched it the first time. So I wanted to watch it again and see if it held up.
Did it?
And did it?
Yeah, except this time I was like excited watching it, like watching the girl like crawling down the stairs. It was so cool, but also so scary. Like I wrote down in my notes, like the special effects really hold up, I think. So
Fun fact, not that many special effects used for that scene.
I could tell.
Yeah,
But
Takako
it's really
Fuji.
fucking good.
Yeah, so Takako Fuji plays Kayako, which forgive me if I butcher any of these names. I literally was on Google
Yeah.
Pronunciate trying to figure out everything. I have it all like written phonetically, so I'm like trying to be good about it. But she plays Kayako and she's a trained contortionist. So she did her own stunts and like
Oh.
it was actually her crawling down the steps like that.
Mhm.
So I think that really
And they
added to it.
Mhm.
they had like a 2-hour makeup routine for her, and they used the director actually did the noises that she makes.
The death rattle.
And
Oh.
and the like popping and cracking of like this is kind of like her bones was a hair comb.
Yeah.
Oh. Cool.
Katie, can you do your best death rattle for us? That's pretty good.
Thank you. I learned it from Phasmophobia, the video game first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Walk around my house making that noise to myself.
I like it. I'll see you
Oh.
in Grudge 3. Just kidding. There's already been a Grudge 3. Grudge 18. We'll see you in.
Yeah, I was
What
gonna
was
say.
it? Grudge 3, like Grudge versus
No.
the other one?
There is a Kayako versus Sadako
Yeah.
from The Ring. I've never seen that, but I should. It sounds terrible.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh my god. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight. No, there's a shit ton of Grudge movies, both in well, I think in the as far as US remakes go, I think there were only 3 and then the 2021, which was like a
Mm.
I don't know if it was a reboot or a sequel. I didn't see it. People said it was awful. So maybe we'll watch that one eventually. But
I think I did see that one, but I don't remember it. So
it's never a good
The
time.
the poster for it is the like iconic shower scene with the hand coming out the back of the head.
Mm.
That's the poster for the 2020, so it's got to be a remake.
Mhm.
That would make sense. Sarah Michelle Gellar found out she was allergic to the water in Japan during that scene.
Oh no.
She would get like all itchy and they had to wrap her in garbage bags everywhere that like wasn't shown.
Oh no.
Garbage bags and a little tube top.
Yeah.
Cute.
What was your favorite scene, Sneaks? Was it the crawling?
Yeah, Michelle.
Michelle. Oh my god, I did it. I'm so sorry.
It didn't even phase me.
I know. Michelle, what was your favorite scene?
Um, please cut out my indecision.
No, it's staying in.
I don't know. Okay. Favorite scene. Ooh, when Professor Peter,
Mhm.
when he like finds all that stuff in Kayako's room, um, and then like goes to get the kid to try to get him out, and then it's like, oh, there's a person there. I don't know if I can say like it's like trigger warning and stuff.
Oh, yeah. We
Oh, okay.
we so in our intro, which is before all of this, we don't film it live every time, but we do tell people to check out Does the Dog Die for any triggers, so you're
Mm.
free to mention them if you so choose.
Okay. Wait, I want to change my mind.
Okay.
My
After all
favorite
that.
scene.
Fuck that scene, actually. We're going to
Okay, so my favorite scene is when Karen goes into that room with the closet
Mhm.
and it's all taped up, and as she's like, no, I'm not gonna just explore that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Which I was like, smart. And then you hear a cat, and you're like, well, like I can't blame her for trying to save the cat. I was like, I would do the same thing. So I really like that scene because it was like she was smart and then she was empathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her empathy got her.
I would probably try to save the
Meanwhile,
cat.
Yoko was like climbing up to the attic.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was like, girl, stop snooping around people's stuff.
Yeah,
Just
please.
get out.
Classic horror movie trope.
Classic.
Yeah.
You gotta follow the noise. You have to investigate.
Do you? Though?
Not me.
Yeah.
No.
But I've also
Wait.
lived in apartment buildings in LA for the past like 8 years. So you just kind of learn to hear a lot of weird noises and
Mm.
never figure out where they're coming
Yeah, there are a lot of times when I was like, you should have just called the police and left. Like, why are you going through these people's stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Peter goes into the house and like everything is just disheveled, there's like stuff on the floor. I was like, something happened here and you should call the police. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How much dishevelment would it take for you to call the police if you went to someone else's house?
Well, if I saw like things knocked over and there's like a kid with like bloody bandage on his knee, his face is all scrapped up, I'd be like, kid, come outside. We're gonna call the police. Because this is sketchy. Yeah.
That's a fair answer. I think if I went there and the door was open and I was like, hey, I'm here, and no one was answering and there was dishevelment, I'd be like, I'm gonna walk down the street and call the 911s.
That that actually happened to me.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that has I mean, there weren't any dead bodies that I know of, but my grandpa's house was robbed. And we went to go home to his house and the door was wide open. And a couple steps in, we were like, oh, oops, we left the door open. A couple steps in, we noticed like a bunch of stuff missing. It wasn't disheveled, it was just
Oh.
missing stuff. They didn't go through anything. They just took basically all of his guitars.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And then
awful.
yeah, so we did exactly what you just said. We went to a neighbor's house and called the police from there.
Mhm.
Wild.
Oh, that's so
Fuck.
sad.
Yeah.
Did they ever find the person?
We knew it was, yeah.
Oh,
It was somebody
that's
we knew.
good.
Did you get the
Usually
stuff
is.
back?
No.
What?
We knew who it was, but we didn't have a way to like contact them.
Oh.
Yeah.
The police?
No.
Do it? No.
They didn't do anything.
Oh, God. That sucks.
Much like in this movie. They all got killed.
Well. Yeah, that was my other thought, is I would get a lot of police officers killed because I just wouldn't go in.
Right?
Yeah, although I guess I would have interacted with the child, so.
Mm,
Or the cat. Yeah.
yeah. The cat might have got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, I thought it was weird. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Okay, so I thought it was weird that like the mother was just mostly unaffected. Like she lived for like what, like 2 days?
Oh,
Emma?
Emma, yeah, sorry.
But I think it kind of showed that it was like slowly eating away at her.
Oh.
Because like when
yeah.
when they came to the house originally, like she was walking, she was like, you know, seemed okay. Whereas like in the end, for however long they were there, she was bedridden, like she couldn't barely speak. It was like,
Mhm.
but yeah, it is interesting that it didn't like kill her as quickly as it did some other people.
Probably the
Yeah.
dementia, yeah. I mean, your brain's not processing everything as quickly as maybe everybody else's brain. So
That's true. If a lot of people are dying of like shock, then
Yeah.
might not work as
Okay.
well.
the
Yeah.
shock a while to set in.
Yeah. So Emma is actually played by Grace Zabriskie, and Alex, Karen's boss, is played by Ted Raimi, and both of them were in the video game The Quarry.
Oh.
I was in that one too. I was like, that's Sam Raimi, but it's Ted.
Ted Raimi. Yeah.
Sam Raimi had something to do with this film too, didn't he?
I think he was a producer.
Yeah, I saw his name in the credits.
Yeah.
Also, I thought originally when I first saw Doug, it was Keanu Reeves. It was not.
It was not. No.
No.
But you know who it was?
Sam Winchester.
No.
That's who I thought it was.
No.
You won't
He
believe
looks like
this.
him.
I mean, if it's me bringing it up, at least Katie should know what he was a guest star on.
Buffy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I saw that.
so Jason Behr played Doug, and then Clea Duvall plays Jennifer, and both of them starred on Buffy. Well, guest starred on Buffy for like one episode.
Wow.
I know.
We always find a way to tie back something to Buffy.
I
And you know what?
love it.
I will call your Buffy. I will raise you one Lost.
As you should.
Um, because Matthew, the actor who played Matthew,
Mhm.
was in Lost, and he was a very bad guy in Lost. So I found much joy in him dying in this movie.
Oh.
Matthew was the husband.
The husband,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
okay.
Emma's son.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, Jason Behr and Clea Duvall both played villains on Buffy too, so.
Oh.
But it's funny when Sarah Michelle Gellar was like talking about this movie, she remembered Jason Behr. And she didn't remember that Clea Duvall had guest starred.
Oh
But
no.
that's only because they never shared scenes together. I don't think they shared any scenes together in this movie, and they didn't share any scenes. Clea Duvall played a girl who was
Oh, yeah, no.
invisible in Buffy, so like she just did voiceover, really. She wasn't in any scenes with
Oh.
her. So yeah.
What were your favorite scenes?
I like the
Both of
scene where
you.
the little kid is at the bed and he just meows at That's my favorite scene.
You know, I wasn't kidding when I said I really reveled in Matthew dying. That felt like justice.
You could almost say that you were holding a grudge.
Yeah,
Oh.
you you could you could say that.
I apologize. That was terrible.
You shouldn't.
Thank you. What
No,
else?
Hallway scene was iconic,
Mm,
obviously. Mm-hmm. It's a good
and the
scene.
shower scene.
Yes. Yes. Someone
yeah.
Okay, so that reminded me because I went to the club a couple months ago and someone like touched the back of my head. Obviously it wasn't like that, but it was like they like like pet me. It's so weird. It
Ew.
reminded me of that. Yeah.
No,
I
thank
hate
you.
that. It like makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
no.
terrible.
Yeah,
Mm.
I watched this movie really early in the morning, like before the sun even came up almost. And then
Oh.
showered immediately after with my eyes open the whole time.
Just
What about the soap?
shampoo just drenched.
Yeah, I just kept my head at an angle back the whole time.
Oh gosh.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't close my eyes. I was too freaked
But
out.
you can't see the back of your head.
Yeah.
And thank God for that.
Oh,
Oh.
time for a shower mirror.
Oh, that's the last thing I want in my shower is a mirror.
Yeah, there's definitely some iconic scenes in here.
Mhm.
Some of it's parodied in one of the scary movies. I can't
7,
remember-
I think.
What?
I think it's 7.
There is not a scary movie 7.
Oh, then it's 4.
I was
Sorry.
like, I was like, unless
I'm gonna tell
I
you.
missed something.
4. It's 4. It's 4.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
That would make sense because I
Um,
barely remember it, and you know it was in there, and that's the only one you've seen.
Yeah.
And I've tried to block that one out of my memory, so.
And I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was in 2.
Scary movie too?
Scary Movie 2. Are
No,
you sure?
I'm almost positive. She was in Scream 2. Is that what you're thinking of?
That's what I
Is
meant.
she really?
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh.
So actually, Selma Blair was the first choice to play Karen in this film.
That's right.
She didn't get it. It went, well, I don't think she could do it. And so it went to Sarah Michelle Gellar. And they worked together on Cruel Intentions
Oh yeah.
and technically in Scream 2.
Briefly.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was actually in it. Selma Blair played a voice on a phone that talked to Sarah Michelle Gellar. So we don't actually see Selma Blair, but we do hear her voice.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
How scary did you think this was, Michelle? On a scale of 1 to 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5. Why are you laughing?
No, I'm not laughing.
That's
Why did
high.
you feel like it was a 5 out of 5?
Okay. So they had they had one person making smart decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They had great special effects. Or special effects. It was fucking cool. I really liked the creepy, the eerie music that they used. I think it really set the tone really well. I feel like they really played with suspense super well too. So, yeah. Just a good
Don't
movie.
get me
Oh, wait, no.
started on percussive music.
Oh.
Wait. I have to give it a 4 out of 5 because for some reason the subtitles just didn't show the Japanese dialogue, so I didn't know what the detectives were saying to each other. And I feel like remembering from when I watched it in the past, that is important information that they're sharing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the movie's fault or Amazon Prime's fault.
So
4
4 out of 5.
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
4.5 on the scary scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Scary scale 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're docking
So,
points elsewhere for the subtitles.
Sorry.
Just to clarify, there are no other horror movies scarier than this.
Can I not give all of them 5 out of 5?
No, you can.
You can give
They
as
can all be
many
ties.
as you want out of 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It can be ties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I don't.
What did you give it,
I don't
Cassidy?
want to go next.
Yeah, I don't either.
Would you both give it 1?
I'm sure she did. She doesn't like paranormal movies.
No, I gave it a
1.5.
a 1.5.
Uh-huh.
Because it did scare me when I was younger and I watched it. I remember feeling icky in the shower because I was like, if you come out of my head. But watching it now, I think it's kind of just more silly. And
Silly?
again, it's paranoid. Yeah, the meowing gets me every time. But yeah, it is paranormal. I don't believe in ghosts, so it's kind of, What about you, Katie?
I gave it a 3.5.
Hey.
One of the scarier movies. I've been on a 1/2 streak.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a lot of scary movies recently, so 3.5 is pretty high.
You guys should watch The Conjuring.
We literally just released our episode of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I don't remember what I gave that. Probably 2.5.
We rated that fairly low.
Yeah.
That movie scared the shit
Neither
out
of
me
us
the first time I
liked
saw
that
it.
one very much.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this movie was scarier to me.
Yeah. How sexy did you think it was? Michelle? Well, we won't make you go first every time. Katie, how sexy did you think it was?
I'll go first. I gave it a 1.
Okay.
There was nothing sexy about this movie. And
Incorrect.
I have rated previous movies higher on the sexy scale solely because someone drowns, and I might be a little into that. But in this movie, it didn't do it for me.
Is it because it's the child?
Probably.
I should hope.
So just to clarify,
Mhm.
drowning works for me,
You 2 are
but
on
not in this movie.
opposite spectrums when it comes to
Yeah.
wanting to see drowning in a film.
Yeah.
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 But not in this movie.
All
Nope.
right, Michelle, how sexy did you think it was?
A 1. And I would give it a 0 because I don't think it's like sexy. I think it's like a good scary movie. I mean, not that like good scary movies can't be sexy, but anyway, like there's a child and a cat that die. But there is like a mildly sexy scene in the beginning. So,
What scene?
and Karen and Doug, like Doug has to go to
Oh,
his,
yeah.
yeah.
That was kind of cute. The hour. I set your clock back in it.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Mhm.
I gave it a 2.
Cassidy? I was
A
gonna
2.
ask. A 2?
Yeah, anything with Sarah Michelle Gellar in it is inherently sexy.
Mm.
And so we usually do like 1 through 5. 1's the lowest, right? But that whole point is just for her. That's, that's it.
It checks out.
Yeah, she could read me a phone book and I'd be like, "Pfft, at least a 2.5, you know?
How fucked up did you think it was, Cassidy?
A 1, 1.5. A kid dies. That's not great.
A cat dies.
That's also not
Terrible.
great. The jaw thing was a little.
Mm.
Oh, that didn't bother me.
I
Me
don't really
neither.
understand why she lost her jaw, but like the other two just kind of look like they were decayed.
Yeah, I don't know. We never really find
Yeah.
out. Maybe she put
Yeah.
up more of a fight.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'd say it was pretty
Yeah.
low in the grand scheme of things I've seen in horror movies. It's
Mm.
like a 1.
We were just talking right before you hopped on, Michelle, how there's an unrated version of the film. They had to cut out a lot of gore to get a PG-13 rating, and
Oh.
there's an unrated version that's got a lot more.
I'd watch it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I'd watch it too.
Yeah. I'm interested.
What did you give it? How fucked up, Michelle?
A 2. Yeah.
Solid.
Mhm.
What gave it its point?
Um, just like the cat being drowned.
Yeah.
Because like you don't really see, I guess like in most horror movies that I have seen, like you don't see the pet die. You just kind of like see the dead body or like hear about it happening. But like, you had to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was sad. And cats hate water, so that made me more sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, exactly the same answer. 2 because of the cat, and because the only scene that I forget who does the audio commentary, but either the producers or the director. It wouldn't have been the director because the director only speaks Japanese. So it must have been the producers. Um, the only scene that there was a fake cat was like the first scene that you see the cat, which is not the drowning scene.
No.
So that makes me uncomfortable. So that automatically bumps it up to a 2.
Yeah, that's fucked. I don't like that.
I might actually give it a 2.5 because the shower scene did freak me out. Kind of fucked.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be safe in the shower. But
Who's to
no.
say
You
though?
sure?
I think so.
I hope.
I will give you my guarantee that an Onryo spirit will not come out of the back of your head anytime you shower.
Thank you.
If
Thank
it
you.
does, I'll give you $1 million.
Okay, I'm gonna go summon a spirit.
Yeah, seriously.
You let me know how that works out. I'm gonna need video evidence though. You're gonna have to prop up a little camera.
You still
in
won't
there.
believe it. You'll be like, "Oh, you edited that."
I'll just
Probably.
attach a camera to my shower mirror.
Just really get the surveillance popping in there, you know?
Yeah. When they start right before they started filming this movie, two things. One, they filmed it in Japan, unlike most of the Japanese remakes. It
Mhm.
was still set in Japan. Um, the sets were not like real houses or anything, but they still took their shoes off as a sign of respect. The crew
Mm.
and the actors and everybody. But also, I forgot where I was going with this.
Were you gonna say that they did a blessing before they started?
They did a blessing before they started so that nothing bad would happen to the
Oh,
cast and crew.
Yes, they
that's
did.
cool.
Yeah. We should have done that. No.
Personally, I don't find it necessary, but if you have at it, I will not stop you from doing a blessing if it makes you feel better.
Thanks. It's too late now.
Yeah.
We've already
Mm,
seen and talked about the movie, so
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
yeah.
Well, overall, Katie,
me first?
yeah, you
Okay.
first.
Okay. I gave it a 3.
Solid.
Yep. It was it was scarier than a lot of the horror movies that we've watched, to me at least. Um to Sneaks's point, or sorry, Michelle's point, it holds up. The practical effects are great. I love a good contortionist as a horror villain.
Mm.
Um yeah, it was spooky and fun to watch.
I like it. Michelle?
Mhm. Um, I'm giving it a 5,
Nice.
and we can just reference the points that I made earlier by accident too soon.
All right.
Mhm.
Cassidy?
Cassidy?
Not the double. That
Before
felt
she
like I was
accuses us
in.
of not asking her.
That felt like I was in trouble. I give it a I give it
Oh
a
god.
2.5. It's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
I think this
Yeah,
movie's
that's
really
fair.
fun and like it's kind of like a classic, right? Like it's like you got to
Mhm,
watch The Grudge. Everybody who likes horror has seen The Grudge, right?
mhm,
But I also kind of think it's like not a great movie. Like it kind of is like
Oh.
a little bit bad, but like in a really fun way. Like in a way that makes me like it. You know what I mean? I wish
Mm,
I do like a nonlinear story. I think it's interesting
mm,
and fresh. I think they maybe could have like toned it down a little bit. It cut in between a lot, and I feel like it was a little erratic at times. I was like, you could maybe just calm down a bit there.
Yeah.
And then a part of me is like really thankful that they kept the location in Japan and kept some of the names and even some of the actors. Yuya Ozeki, Takako Fuji, and Takashi Matsuyama play the Saiki family, and they played it in the original. It's the same cast.
mm,
They just came back. It's Takashi Shimizu is the director, same director. So like, I like that they did that, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, why did we even need to remake that? Like, what?
mm.
I don't know,
Not wrong. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
but yeah, I mean, overall, it's like a fun movie. I'll watch The Grudge anytime if my friends want to watch The Grudge.
Speaking of it being in non-chronological order,
Mhm.
um, I had to watch it twice. Because the first time I watched it, it was in chronological order. Um, I I watched it in a way that may or may not have been ethical. Uh,
Cut that part
without
out.
saying too much. And like halfway through the movie, I realized that I had not been getting English subtitles for any of the Japanese that was being spoken. And halfway through the movie, I was like, okay, that can't be intentional. Like sometimes it's probably intentional, but this is actual dialogue that I'm saying here. So I bought the movie so that I could make sure that I had the right subtitles and context, and couldn't find where I was because the movie that I bought was totally out of order compared to the movie that I had been watching previously.
That's so
It's very strange.
weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, it was very strange. Like
Yeah.
the example that I gave you guys was that um the hospital scenes with Karen, where Karen is visited by Doug, and then immediately after visited by the detective. All of those scenes are kind of spread throughout the first probably 2/3 of the movie. They were all squeezed into like 10 minutes at the beginning.
Hmm.
That's so weird.
It was very strange.
Who re-edited The Grudge to be
Was it?
in chronological order and then released it to some sketchy websites so people could see? Maybe that's how they do it. Maybe they get away with putting it on sketchy websites because,
Oh.
like, when they scan it, they're like, well, this isn't the same movie because it's not in the same order.
Maybe. Maybe.
That's incredible.
Anyway,
I want to watch that version.
I sent it to you.
I know. I'm gonna watch it. All right. Well, the last question that we usually ask is, if you were in this movie, put in the same situation as the main characters, would you survive?
I'd be dead.
Fair.
Yeah.
Why?
Like
Why?
if I couldn't escape the curse, I don't know. That'd be it. Like I'm very much like there's like fight, flight, or freeze. I'm like flight freeze. If I
Mm,
can't run, I'm stuck. I'm gonna go hide in a corner and hope that it doesn't see me. And it will. So
that's fair. Katie?
yeah.
Um, you know, I keep going back and forth, but I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Because I would have tried to save the cat.
Mm,
And I feel like that was kind of the turning point for Karen.
yeah.
Is when she like saw the kid for the first time. That was
Hmm.
kind of the end for her, you know? And I would have gone for the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead as well.
We didn't ask.
I know. But yeah, I think once you put yourself in this movie in the situation that the main characters are in, you're dead. Because it latches onto you as soon as you enter the house, and that's it. And they
Hmm.
all entered the house. And as even in the end, you kind of realize that it's still going after Karen. So you do find out what happens to her in the sequel.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
But
It's a
yeah,
sequel to a horror movie.
yeah, true.
How good could it be?
But yeah, my favorite thing that's been said about Sarah Michelle Gellar, without spoiling too much about other horror movies she might be in, but she's been dubbed the greatest final girl who never lives. I think that's pretty accurate.
Oh.
Sad.
I know. Even in Buffy,
Mhm.
she dies twice.
Female Sean Bean.
Oh,
Oh my god,
not
you're
the
right.
bean.
Yeah. The bean.
Okay. She lives in Scooby Doo.
That's
True.
very accurate. Well, he lives in National Treasure, so he just
There you
gets
go.
arrested. He lives.
Doesn't he die? Doesn't he drown? He sacrifices himself?
What are you? Did you watch the same National Treasure as I did?
I thought he sacrifices himself in the drowning scene.
No, Sean Bean is the bad guy. He gets arrested in the
I
end.
know. And then at the end, he's finally like, okay, I have to be a good person. I want my name in the history book.
No, he gets arrested.
Oh, my version's better. That must be, I must have watched the pirated version of that
Must have.
too.
All right, well, the last thing that we do, Michelle, you don't have to worry about anything here, but we just have Katie predict the plot of the next movie that we're going to watch. So
Unless
Ooh.
Michelle hasn't seen it, then she should do it. Oh my god.
that's true. If you haven't seen it, you're free to. It is a pretty popular one, so I feel like you probably have. If not, let's all watch it together because it's a great movie. Um, it's National Treasure. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say I haven't
Damn.
seen that
Now
one.
that's a podcast I can get behind.
No, it is Final Destination.
Oh no.
A zombie movie.
All right, tell us the plot, Katie.
It's a zombie movie.
Okay.
No, it's not.
What happens?
Isn't it?
You
Why would you
you
make me
tell
watch
me.
We just watched a zombie movie. Why would you make me watch another
Okay, but
zombie
remember
movie?
we had to reorder some things. So tell me
So
what
it
it's
is a
about.
zombie movie.
You tell me.
Okay. It's a zombie movie.
Okay.
And it's about a guy and his son.
hmm
The mom is dead.
Yeah.
Has been dead. And they're sad about it. And there's a virus in the deep south is where it's set. And the virus is spreading very quickly. Probably was started by a crocodile. I don't think they tell you that.
It's in the director's cut only.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy and his son have to escape
Mhm.
from the virus and the zombies. And so they get in a helicopter and they get to a safe zone and they're like, this is not your final destination. And there's a spaceship.
Wow.
So they have to get into a spaceship and they go to a planet. And that's their final destination.
Wow. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Sounds like
Wait,
a
is it
dream
really?
that I've had.
Oh. Am I right?
You couldn't be more wrong, actually.
It's not even a zombie
It's
movie?
not even a zombie movie.
I swear it was a zombie movie. Damn.
No, it's not even a little bit.
Is it spacey?
Nope.
Then what the hell's the final destination?
We'll
Well,
find out.
yeah.
Is it hell?
You know, it might,
No.
you'd have to watch and find out.
I had to have gotten something right.
I'm very excited for this.
You literally got nothing right. Like, I can't
It's not even about a guy?
It is about a guy. He doesn't have a son.
Okay.
He's a
Is his name Kevin?
He's a young man. No, his name is
Is-
Alex. He's played by Devin Sawa.
That is.
That sucks for you. Sean William Scott's in it, though. It's gonna be a great time.
That is either.
Is Freddie Prinze Jr. in it?
What are you talking about? You don't know who Sean William Scott is? No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Freddie Prinze Jr. married to Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yes, he is. But going back, have you never seen American Pie? Have you never seen Role Models, The Rundown, Dude, Where's My Car? You don't know who Sean William Scott is?
Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, I know him.
I was about to be like, what
I-
the fuck?
I didn't know his name.
Like, were you not around from like 1998 to like 2004? Like, I don't know. He was in everything.
We were like 5 in 1998.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did American Pie come out and why did I watch it so
99.
young?
It came out in 99. You were 6.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
Yikes.
Oh, hey, he has the same. Oh no, he doesn't. I was gonna say he has the same birthday as my kid, but he doesn't.
Well, I'm excited to watch the zombie space movie, Final Destination, next week.
We need to start writing these down and making these movies. Some of them are bangers. Zombie space movie? Your only escape is space? Your final destination is
I
space?
feel like the 100 kind of did that, but with like not zombies.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can't wait.
just
Oh.
one final thought. Thank you so much to Michelle for
Oh,
being here
yes. Yeah,
and
we
for
should.
recommending our movie.
Yes, big
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
me.
Oh,
I'm so excited to be here.
good. We're
I couldn't
glad to
decide
have you.
which movie because Cassidy asked me
We're
in a
dating,
pause.
so.
Cassidy asked me like, I don't know how long ago it was, like months ago, what movie I wanted to watch, and I said The Strangers. And then she asked me again, and I was like, I don't know.
It was funny. I asked her so long ago. She said The Strangers, and then I think like a couple days later, she said, "Well, maybe the Witch, or maybe Midsummer." And then I was like,
Um,
a couple more months went by, and then like I finally asked her. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually like here," because we had counted out when the 25th episode was going to be coming out, and it was going to be in June. All three of us have birthdays in June. We were like, "All right, it's got to be Michelle for the first guest." And so when I finally reached out to her again, I was like talking to Katie as I reached out, and I was like, "Okay, she gave me like three more movies. None of them were the ones that she said previously. Like, we're just gonna go with it."
I'm so sorry.
No, no, it's perfect. Honestly, everyone you suggested we hadn't done yet, so we were kind of like,
Mm.
whatever you want, it's yours. Let's do it. And it was perfect. Grudge is a classic. You gotta watch it,
Mhm,
you know.
mhm. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Cool.
Bye.
there it is.
All right, well, that wraps it up for today. If there are any movies you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM on our socials.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope to see you next week when we talk about the 2000 film Final Destination. It sparked a decade-long franchise. We hope to see you then. Bye!